Hey Terensu fans, it is me back again finally with some more Tekken content. So today, in addition to my other video, I thought I would design the roster for Tekken 8. Now first, I want to clear up the rumor that's out there floating around in Discord, and I've seen it in my chat, that I in fact hate every character with the exception of Lee and the other characters I play. That's just not true. You're going to see how broad and diverse my opinion on Tekken characters is in this video. So just bear with me here as we go through my ideal roster for Tekken 8. So now, first off, let's just get the bias out of the way. Where is Lee? We all know that I am a Lee main. I've played Lee since Tekken 2. Lee is important to the story. He is a good, honest character. He's very weak in all possible areas. He really needs some big, significant buffs to be a viable character. So I hope he is put in Tekken 8. The same for Kunimitsu. She's extremely weak. Her 50-50s are pointless. She has no lows. She is a very honest, classic, honest Tekken character. I hope she gets the buffs that she deserves going into Tekken 8. I hope she actually has a story this time and participates in the main story. I really do hope that we see Kunimitsu in the base roster for Tekken 8, right? And the other character I play sometimes is Anna. Anna is a 50-50 machine, but she's also extraordinarily weak and honest like all the other characters I play. I don't play any dishonest OP characters. And so Anna just really needs a lot of super buffs. She needs to be viable and strong, but she's a classic Tekken character and she should have been in the base roster of Tekken 7. So here's hoping they put her in the roster for Tekken 8. Now that we have my mains out of the way, we can get to the rest of the cast. Obviously Tekken 7 has a gigantic cast. I don't think it's feasible to say that everyone will make it. So in this, I put the Tekken 8 base roster, the maybe DLC category, and then the removed for Tekken 8. Now obviously this doesn't count new characters, because new characters, we don't know who they are, right? Obviously there will be new characters in Tekken 8, but we don't know who they are. Anyway, we got a lot of characters to get through down here, so let's get going. First off, Heihachi is canonically dead. He's completely overpowered and busted anyway, like all the Mishimas. The Hell Sweep, you cannot fight against this, even at high level. His forward 4-2 is completely broken. His range is insane. He should just be taken out of the game. I'm glad he's dead. So no Heihachi for Tekken 8. Let him sit out. Kazi is another character that is completely insanely broken because of his Hell Sweep and his Mishima moves. I'm hoping that since he's part of the story, he will just be an unplayable boss character. So I'm putting him in the removed for Tekken 8 category because, again, just an extremely overpowered character that needs to be on the bench for a while. I'm going to say the same with Jin. He is another extremely overpowered, broken character. He's good at everything. He has no weaknesses. He's extremely unfun to fight against. So I'm hoping that they shake things up, and instead of Jin versus Kazuya, Jin just like dies or something and is not in Tekken 8. That would be my preference, is for these three Mishima characters to not be featured in Tekken 8. I would take them out. Next is Akuma. We all know that 2D is trash and broken. 2D is not fair. They don't play the same game that everybody else plays. So even though Akuma is part of the story in Tekken now, I hope that he is dead canonically at the end of 7 and that he is in fact removed for Tekken 8. Again, just a completely broken character. He has death combos. I don't really care how high the execution is. He's just annoying to fight. So I hope he's removed for Tekken 8. Excuse me. Lars is another character I hope is removed for Tekken 8 because he is extremely broken with his orbital and his silent entry. There is no way to guess silent entry mix-ups online. He's just completely too strong. He's a dishonest character. Orbitals in general need to be taken out of the game. So I'm hoping that Lars is removed for Tekken 8. Maybe he's just like in story cutscenes or he's a boss or something, but I do not think that Lars should be playable in Tekken 8. Elisa is another character that's extremely overpowered and broken. She has a double hop kick. That's just impossible. No one can defend against that. It's completely unfair that I have to block 2 parts of a hop kick before attacking with my 30 frame startup move. She's just an annoying weeb character anyway that no one likes. So let's get rid of Elisa. Maybe she can just be in the cutscene with like Lars as people watch from the side. No need for Elisa. She's completely busted. Her shenanigans aren't fun to fight against. Let's get rid of her. Hwoarang. Hwoarang, I'm saying we should remove for Tekken 8. He's not fun to fight against. He has a safe, launching, power-crushing mid. I don't care that he can only do it out of stance. It's not fair. It's not fun. Only tryhards will use this move. So we should take Hwoarang out of the game because, I mean, Jin is, if I have my way, Jin is not going to be in Tekken 8. So there's really no reason for Hwoarang to be in Tekken 8 because, you know, he doesn't have this rivalry anymore. So he's completely pointless. So let's just take Hwoarang out of Tekken 8. He's not going to be in the base roster. Devil Jin, because Jin is going to be removed from my ideal roster, this means no Devil Jin. And that's fine because Devil Jin is hands down the most broken character in the game. I always disconnect at the loading screen when I see Devil Jin so that the person has to wait the absolute longest amount of time before they can play again. I never rematch or match Devil Jins because it's just completely overpowered and broken. Dragonov is another character that's broken, so I'm going to say we remove him for Tekken 8. His running 2 is completely unavoidable. You cannot do anything against it. I don't know what Namco was thinking with this move. It's completely broken. He has no relevance to the story. Apparently he defeated Raven at some point, not Master Raven, the original Raven. But Raven isn't even in the game. So there's really no point to have Dragonov. I just think he needs to be taken out of the game. Paul Phoenix is another overpowered, broken character. Phoenix Smasher is completely overpowered. There's nothing you can do against this move. How is that fair when you can combo your way to victory 3 or 4 times and this guy can Phoenix Smash you twice with a quarter circle forward and essentially win the match? So Paul has been in the game since Tekken 1. It's time for him to sit out. He's just not a good character. He's completely broken. Demo Man is unreactable. You can't do anything against it. And Kazi is gone, so his main rivalry is gone. There's just no point for this character to be in the game anymore. He's a joke. So I'm saying we should remove Paul for Tekken 8. Law is another character that's completely busted online. He's overpowered to the max, completely dishonest. No one can parry Junkyard combo. It's just a free win as far as I'm concerned. So I think this character needs to sit out until Tekken 9. Maybe they can take some time to reflect on him and figure out how to make him a balanced, honest character instead of the broken mess he is today. Let's go with Bob. Bob is a human dump heap anyway, in addition to his broken roll mix-ups and his launcher that he got for Season 4 that he didn't need. Let's go ahead and take Bob out of the game. Maybe he needs to go to McDonald's or something for Tekken 8 and just not burden the cast of Tekken 8. We're already looking at an all-star roster. We don't need Bob. I think nobody asked for him. He only barely got into Tekken 7 with the console home release. Let's just get rid of him. Let's get rid of Bob. Brian Fury, I'm putting in the remove category. Brian is completely broken. He has an orbital, which is extremely cheap. I think they should remove orbitals from the game. Literally every move he has counter hit launches. So if you go for a 10-frame jab, he'll hit you with a 10-frame jab that launches into full combo for 80 plus damage. If he doesn't do that, all he has to do is Snake Edge. You can't react to Snake Edge. It's unseeable, and it leads to full combo. And what is Taunt Jet Upper? Why should anybody have an unblockable launcher? It's just completely broken. No one should be able to use this character. He's pointless for the story anyway. He's just a laughing cyborg man. I'm saying we need to remove Brian Fury for Tekken 8. He's just completely busted. Steve Fox is another character I'm going to say we should remove for Tekken 8. He's completely broken even after the nerfs he got in Season 4. In my opinion, some of his moves should be double launch punishable. They're so good. So that if you block the move, you launch him, do a full combo, and he wakes up stunned so you can launch him again. I also think that all of his mains quit playing him because of the nerfs he got, even though he is still probably sitting right under Devil Jin. So I'm saying we should remove Steve Fox for Tekken 8. He's just a broken character. He always has been. I remember Tekken 5. Namco really needs to sit and take some time with this character, kind of like Law, to figure out how they want to to implement this character so that he is not the broken mess that he is today. Nina Williams is another one I'm saying we should remove for Tekken 8. She's extremely broken when she goes into all her mix-ups and can opener online. You can't react to it, so therefore it's not fair. She's just a very unfair, broken character that Scrubs will use to get to Mighty Ruler using can opener. So I think she needs to be retuned, kind of like these other Tekken 1 dinosaurs that are overpowered and broken. She needs to be taken out and sit on the bench so Namco can really have kind of a whole game to look at how we should use Nina going forward. Lily is another character that needs to be removed for Tekken 8. Nobody can avoid Piercing Thorn Fortismo online. It's unblockable. It's also unseeable. She has roll mix-ups. You can't attack her because every move she has literally avoids your move. So you can do, you could probably do Hwoarang's homing safe mid power crush on her, and she could do a 10-frame jab, and you would lose that mix-up because she would phase out of existence and then come back into existence and launch you. So again, just a ton of issues with this character. So I'm hoping that she is removed for Tekken 8. Asuka is another character I'm going to say removed for Tekken 8. She's extremely broken. She has a parry which she can just throw out and not have to think about defending. Tekken should be about defense, whereas this character doesn't have to defend. They can just parry. And because nobody knows how to chicken, it's extremely broken. It's not fair. Also, she can just stand back and do her up back 3 launcher all day. I think it's like up back 3, up back 4, something like that. And you cannot do anything because if you get close to her, you will get launched. Completely broken character. I think they need to remove her. Ling Xiaoyu is another character I'm saying definitely needs to be removed for Tekken 8. Her hitboxes are completely broken. I mean, you cannot hit this girl. If you fight her online, you know how frustrating it is to fight her. She's just been broken for as long as she's been in Tekken. She's completely impossible to fight against because you cannot hit her. There's nothing more frustrating than fighting Xiaoyu because of her broken hitboxes. So I think they should take the time to fix this character and maybe sneak her back into Tekken 9 after she's been seriously worked over to fit. Let's do Feng Wei. Let's put him in the removed tier. This is another useless character that does nothing for the story. He looks ugly. He doesn't talk, so he's just like Dragonov. All he really does is yell and kill his old master and split mountains. Just a pointless character. He has too many backswing blows so that I can't run an aggressive offense without thinking, so that's not fair. You shouldn't be able to have that many backswing blows. It's just not fair that my attack gets dodged and then launched because you have this move which puts you on the other side of the screen for a few seconds and then you come back and launch me. That's just completely broken. And until this character is redesigned, I think he needs to stay out of Tekken 8. Leo is another useless character that we can remove for Tekken 8. Leo contributes nothing to the story. Leo is never going to have a battle with Kazuya. It's just not going to happen. She has a mix-up that's unseeable that you have to guess, therefore she's unfair. I'm going to say we need to get rid of Leo for Tekken 8. Yoshimitsu is a character that only crazy people play, so I think we need to remove him for Tekken 8. Kunimitsu has his sword anyway, and she's going to be in the base roster of 8. So we can just say no Yoshi this time. He's in this category with these other Tekken 1 characters that need to be reevaluated and then removed from the game and maybe put back in with Tekken 9 or 10 if they've been completely and utterly revamped so that they're not so busted. King is another broken character. If he gets you in a chain throw, you just have to guess. It's completely unfair. And I don't like losing 70 plus health because I guessed wrong on a rolling death cradle. He's also been in the game since Tekken 1. He has tons of moves. He's completely overtuned. He has a snake edge with his fist. I mean, what is that about? How is that fair that you can snake edge with your fist? It's just completely busted. King needs to sit this one out. No King this time around, guys. Jack 7. If he were to be in Tekken 8, he would be replaced with Jack 8. So Jack 7 I think will never come back anyway, but I'm hoping there is no Jack 8 in Tekken 8 because Jack is another one of those characters that's completely broken. His punch reaches across the screen. There's nothing you can do to stop it. And then he can just debugger you into being still. So that's just not fair. It's not fun and it's not fair. So I'm hoping that we remove all mention of Jack for the rest of Tekken as a series. That would suit me just fine. I think you guys know where Katarina is going, directly into the removed for Tekken 8 pile. This is a useless character whose story is tied to Gigas. I'm going to say we also remove Gigas. Gigas is just lowest tier gutter trash in the game, but while also being completely unfair because of his long reach and his rage drive that you cannot defend against. He has the most broken rage drive in the game probably, so I'm saying we need to take him out. Katarina is extremely broken as well. You can't react to her 333 spam online, and she does nothing for the story. So let's get rid of Katarina. She's garbage. Kazumi is dead, canonically dead. She's also the boss for this game. So I'm going to say that she is not going to be in Tekken 8. I'm thinking she's going to sit this one out. She's just another Mishima. I think she's a fun experiment for Tekken 7. But for 8, I think that she should be left out of the game. Claudio has a very unfair orbital hop kick. The fastest in the game. He's also fairly useless. And with Heihachi being gone, and I doubt he wants to work with Kazuya since he's literally a devil, I think that Claudio should be removed for Tekken 8. Shaheen is another character that I want to remove for Tekken 8. He's useless in the story. He does nothing. He's just people say he's a better version of Lee, so that alone makes me not like him. Maybe we should just let this guy sit out for Tekken 8 and come back in a future Tekken installment that will actually have more of a story budget that he can actually contribute to instead of being useless like he is now. Jose Rizal is another broken character. It's impossible to fight her online. She has literally nothing but plus frames. Even if you break her throws, they are plus on break. And so anytime you press a button, you will be launched for half your health. So let's remove this crybaby annoying character from the game. But let's not bring back Bruce Irving either. We don't want his particular brand of brokenness to replace this brand of brokenness. So I'm just saying we take Josie out of Tekken 8. Master Raven is another character I'm going to say we remove for Tekken 8. She's just a female version of Raven, and nobody was asking for Raven to be replaced, so I'm not sure why Raven got replaced. But let's not bring him back either. We don't want him in Tekken 8. His stuff is completely unreactable online. It's not fun to fight against. It's extremely dishonest. So let's take the Raven twins out of Tekken 8. Lucky Chloe is another character we're going to remove for Tekken 8. She has a low rage art, which is completely unfair that you have to block low to block her rage art. And she gets bonus damage off of it if she inputs several just frames. So that's completely busted. Nobody else gets that. So I don't understand why this character has it. Nobody asked for this character. Let's take Lucky Chloe out of Tekken 8. Eddie Gordo is probably one of the most broken characters of all time. So I'm saying we remove him for Tekken 8. We don't want this mess in Tekken 8. We don't want Christy either. Take this character out of Tekken 8. People have been clamoring to remove Eddie since he showed up in Tekken 3. And unfortunately, Namco keeps adding this broken character to the game. Completely overpowered, unfightable character online. So let's remove him from the game. Eliza is another 2D character, therefore she needs to be removed by default. Miguel is another character that's completely broken. His unblockable move Burla kills in one hit. So nobody else has that except Kuma used to have Fatal Wind, but that was removed. So this is completely busted. Why does this character get this? He should not have this. He should not have that many plus on block highs either. So let's remove this character from the game. He doesn't do anything for the story. His time has passed. No one cared in Tekken 6. No one cares now. So let's take Miguel out of Tekken 8. Kuma and Panda, they're classic Tekken staples, so we're going to remove them and give them a break. Nobody likes Kuma or Panda. Rangchu won with them at EVO that one time is just kind of a meme. Other than that, these characters are extremely dishonest. They're not fun to fight. They're bigger than everybody else, so that's not really fair. We need to remove them from Tekken 8 to make it a more balanced game, I think. Geese Howard is 2D, so he's removed by default. Noctis, Final Fantasy 15 was one of the worst Final Fantasies ever. So I get the feeling that when they asked for a Final Fantasy guest character, Square forced this on them because they were really trying to make Final Fantasy 15 a good game, whereas it is just not a good game. And yes, I did finish it from start to finish. Just not a good game, guys. I'm sorry. So let's get rid of Noctis for Tekken 8. We don't need him. Lei Wulong is a character that is not very good, but extremely complicated that no one even plays except for Suiken. So let's not waste resources with the Tekken 8 roster on Lei Wulong. He only barely made it in his DLC for 7. No one plays this character. Those that do know how to use him have an extremely unfair advantage because I don't have time to learn 1,000 moves in practice mode. So I'm saying we need to remove Lei Wulong for Tekken 8. Marduk is another character that was kind of in the broken DLC category for Tekken 7. This guy has some insane damage. He has a launching throw. Tackle mix-ups are nearly unbeatable online. You can just spam tackle and make it to Mighty Ruler. So I think this guy needs to sit out, honestly. I think we got to ditch Marduk. He's too busted. Too busted. Armor King's story is tied to King and Marduk, so if those two aren't going to be in the game, I would rather just leave out Armor King. Since no one likes this character anyway, no one plays Armor King, he's definitely not popular, and his DLC did not sell at all when he came out. So let's remove Armor King. Mostly grapplers. You know, I hope there's not many grapplers in Tekken 7 because throw breaks are impossible. You cannot break throws in this game, and any character that has chain throws is broken. So let's remove them, except Anna. Hers is completely seeable and easy to break, but the rest of these characters with chain throws need to be removed from the game for balancing reasons. Julia is another character that has always been slept on but is extremely overpowered, very strong 50-50 mix-up machine in Tekken 7. If you remember back to that Evo Japan right after Leroy came out, who was the only character that was hanging with Leroy in those finals? Well, if you don't remember, go back and watch and you'll know that it was Julia. Julia was the only one that was able to keep up with Leroy, so that should tell you something. That said, I hope she sits out for Tekken 8. Obviously, she wasn't very popular in Tag 2 because she just barely made it into 7. So here's hoping there is no Julia in Tekken 8. We don't have to see her cringe streamer attitude or any of that Twitch hot tub stream shenanigans from Julia in Tekken 8. Negan is a character that nobody asked for and nobody wanted. Therefore, let's remove him from the game and just pretend his inclusion in Tekken 7 was a fluke mistake and that it never happened and we'll never speak of it again. Fakumram is another garbage OP DLC character. Completely busted hitboxes on launch, still overpowered to this day. He has a guard break mechanic. Where is Lee's guard break mechanic? Where are all these characters' guard break mechanics? Why does he have this overpowered mechanic? Nobody should be able to duck or sidestep this. So therefore, it's completely busted. We can't have this. Ganryu is another character that nobody wanted, but Harada likes him, so he put him in the game. He just kind of chases Julia around and has a restaurant. So let's remove Ganryu for Tekken 8. Zafina is another character I'm going to say we remove for Tekken 8. No one plays Zafina except tryhards and people who want to abuse her good movement and really strong moves to win tournaments. So let's remove Zafina so that Tekken can be more honest and balanced. Let's see. Leroy. You all know Leroy is completely broken. You can go from beginner to Tekken God Prime and Tekken God Omega in about a week playing as Leroy. So let's take him out of the game, let him sit out a game, and let's have him show up in maybe Tekken 9 or Tekken Tag 3 after they've had a long time to look at the engine and look at him and rebalance him because he's completely busted. So we need to have him removed. Just too cheesy. He was essentially a boss character when he was released. That's how strong this guy was. And then finally is our latest DLC character, Lydia. I'm going to say we remove Lydia for Tekken 8. She is a garbage broken character that uses stances to hit you with stuff you can't possibly avoid. She has an unseeable low hell sweep that has a follow-up. She's completely safe on all of her moves. She's never negative. So basically the whole match is just you blocking until she decides to hell sweep you. I just don't need that in my life, fam. Let's get her out of Tekken 8. So that's all the characters, not counting new characters. So again, like I said, there's no basis in fact whatsoever that I hate all of the cast other than like Lee, Kuni, and Anna. No argument for that whatsoever. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This is my ideal roster for Tekken 8. I really believe we got the best characters in, and we took out the trash. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more Tekken content. I hope you all have a great weekend.